Welcome everybody here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel. Mason Neal and Jackson Kerrigan for the main event of our night here, senior night, Carroll High, as they host yet again another local team. The fun thing is, Jackson, is we just kind of have to have a script here because it's local team A hosts local team B for every single matchup we do for soccer. So tonight the Carroll Tigers hosting the East Sac County Raiders. A fun game. East Sac County sitting at 1-6 right now. Carroll at 2-8. So somebody's going to be picking up a win here tonight. East Sac, though, 1-3 on the road, so they're looking for their second road victory of the year. And Carroll looking for their first home victory of the year. They are 0-5 at home. Their 2 wins coming against Greene County at Greene County and against Loma at Loma. Both teams have a win against Loma because that was what East Sac County picked up the win against. 4-1 against Loma for East Sac County. Carla Blasi in that game, hat trick. And then against Loma for Carroll, 1-0. So tonight should be a battle of 2 very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, and I feel like with the way both teams have been playing this year that, haven't had the greatest of seasons so far. Been unfortunate in a couple of games and just not played their best in some games. But looking to turn it around here is both pretty evenly matched teams. I know both teams have some injuries, especially Carroll. Carroll down a couple girls, and both East Sac, as we talked to Coach Bob Bay. But should ultimately be a pretty good game, I think. I don't think it's going to be too high scoring. I wouldn't be surprised to see this end at a tie or a 1-0 win.
And I was going to talk about this. I wrote this note down, but I'm actually now wrong. I was going to say team is without Chloe Barrett, who was their leading scorer last year, 13 goals, 4 assists. Coach Babe says they're going to run a trial run. She injured her knee early in the season. They're going to run her a little bit tonight, see if they can get her going. But, he said she wants to start the game, and that just tells you the kind of competitor that she is. But we talked with him, and he goes, is it more valuable to have her tonight against Carroll, or is it more valuable to have her in the postseason? And I think we all know the answer to that one. But Jackson, if Chloe Barrett gets to 100%, this East Sac team with Jordan Carroll, Sarah Bontrager, Carla Blasi, and Chloe Barrett in that front four, that's going to be a team that almost any other team is going to have problems with. Yeah,
and with Chloe being their lead point scorer last year, she's obviously a key factor to this team here. And also with Carla Blasi and a bunch of other girls like Jordan Carroll and Sarah Bontrager out there just playing really well for them so far this season. Like you said, if they get to full health by probably next week or potentially by the playoffs, they're going to be really scary in the playoffs.
And you add in the fact that, they have one of the better goalkeepers in our area in Danae Thayer. She's taking her talents to Buena Vista this next year to play goalkeeper over there. I joked with her. I did an interview with her on the CB Sports Network Podcast Center. Talks about her and her sister. She just kind of says that goalkeeping was natural to her because her sister did it. So, one of the better goalkeepers in our area. But, Jackson, you look across the way, and top 3 in the state in saves right now is Marin Overmole sitting on the other end.
Yeah, she's number 2 with 152 according to Bound. She's 3 behind number 1. And then I also seen today that Riley Massey was up in the assist. I think she's up to 4th in the state with assist, and a couple other girls were up there for our area schools. But overall, both girls and boys area teams have been looking really good so far in the stats for Bound. But it's not always about the stats, it's about the team, and it's about winning each match.
And Jackson, tonight we're going to go ahead and step away here soon, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, what it's going to take for both teams to win a match like this. We'll go ahead and call it quits here for about 3 minutes. When we come back, Jackson, we will bring that up.
This fall, cozy up with internet that keeps up. With WindSpeed Fiber Internet from Western Iowa Networks, enjoy 1 gig speeds for just $99.99 a month. Perfect for streaming, football, fall shows, and working from home. No lag, no interruptions, just the speed you need all season long. Other speed packages available starting at just $59.99 a month. Call or text 712-775-2946 for details or visit westinet.com today. Western Iowa Networks, connecting you to what matters for 120 years.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
It's okay.
your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave.
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless.
Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
For details, contact Nicole Unken at Nicole Unken Agency.
These DMAC Carroll campus students are tomorrow's nurses. They're leaders, smart, dedicated, and they care about their community.
My experience in DMAC nursing so far, I get to make a difference in people's lives during their most vulnerable times, and I build friendships along the way.
The interaction between the faculty, staff, and professor with the students are really close. They really help us a lot every time.
Get started today.
At Collins Aerospace, we believe in investing in our employees' future. That's why we are proud to offer our Employee Scholar Program. Whether you want to pursue a professional certificate or a degree related to the industry, we offer full tuition reimbursement and even paid study time. Our Employee Scholar Program is the perfect tool to help achieve the future you've been dreaming of. At Collins, we don't just want to offer you a job, we want to offer you a career and a future in aerospace. For details on the Collins Aerospace Employee Scholar Program, visit us at careers.rtx.com.
Family owned and operated since 1948, Quant Auto Salvage is the area's best full-service scrap facility. Whether you are looking to sell scrap iron, vehicles, or batteries, or you need to locate that difficult-to-find part for your vehicle, they have what you need. And if it isn't in stock, they can locate it with their nationwide parts database, or you can pull it yourself at their You Pull It. Quant Auto Salvage. They sell the best and recycle the rest on Kitty Hawk Avenue in Carroll.
Midwest Wholesale is your local building products headquarters. We have everything you need for your smaller home improvements to the building of your home or commercial building. We pride ourselves on giving you top-notch service, quality products with competitive prices. So whether you're a do-it-yourselfer, a contractor, or you just need a little help on a project, Midwest Wholesale is a one-stop resource for all your building needs. Midwest Wholesale, how you want it, when you want it, where you want it, we deliver.
Welcome back here on the CB Sports Network. Jackson, Kerrigan, Mason Nealon with you guys. Got a couple of Carroll girls dancing at midfield as it is their senior night. You know, it's a party for all of us here at Jackson. It's a pleasure being in the booth for you for the last time this season until baseball season, obviously. I'm going to drag you to all of our baseball games possibly. But, you know, Jackson, tonight we get the opportunity to call what should be a pretty good game. But for the East Sac County Raiders, they sit at 1-6, win over Loma. They're going to be playing a bigger school. And if you look, they are 5-4 against Carroll all time since 2019. Last year beat Carroll 3-2 on the back of a nice game from Chloe Barrett. What do you need tonight to beat this new Carroll team? And as a new ESAC team, what do you need tonight?
I feel like you gotta pressure Carroll. You know, if like Coach Bob Babe said, if they win the toss, they got to take the ball with the win and just pressure Carroll. And I feel like that's what you have to do because Carroll's back line obviously has been kind of beat up this year. So I think that's what you're gonna have to do. And then if you're Carroll, I have to feel like you're gonna have to, you know, do that as well. You're gonna have to attack and not let, you know, Blassie and Barrett get on that attack for East Sac. So it's basically just the same game plan. Just take the ball with the wind and go on the attack first and don't give it up.
And tonight for Carroll, you know, we had talked about that wind factor. It's blowing from the north. It's going to be chilly tonight. It's going to be cold. The wind's going to be blowing pretty consistently here. I can pull it up on my phone as we speak about how hard this wind's going to be coming out of the north if, you know, Apple would actually let me look at my weather app. But I'm guessing somewhere between 15 miles an hour is where we're going to be looking at. But tonight, 15-mile-an-hour winds out of the north. If you're on the defensive end, how do you combat that? And how do you make sure that you're not giving up easy runs due to this wind?
I feel like you just kind of have to sit back, you know, not play as aggressive on defense, kind of let the ball come to you, but don't sit too far back to where they're basically just walking to the doorstep. But, you know, play back a little bit so in case, you know, with the wind on the passes, it doesn't get behind you. And
we talked to Coach Bob Babe about kind of the strategy that they're going to implement tonight, and he kind of says, I asked him, I go, Jackson, or I asked him, Jackson, obviously, I go, are you guys going to try and come out aggressive? I know that, you know, you've got some girls that can be pretty physical. You know, you've got some different pieces here. And he's like, yeah, we're coming out and we're not holding anything back tonight, Jackson. So is that kind of what Carroll's mentality has to be as well? As if they're going to come out aggressive, you have to match that style?
Yeah, and I feel like you're going to have to, especially with Carroll's speed. I mean, both teams have really good speed up front, and Carroll with really good speed up front with the likes of Jersey Spore, Zoe Feld, and Aubrey Schmidt-Hubbard. And I think that's definitely what they're going to have to do is they're just going to have to get out and run.
And with that, you know, tonight, the boys' game coming up after this as well, how much of a factor is it going to be that this temperature is just going to consistently drop and drop and drop? It's going to get really cold here tonight. And by the way, finally got my weather app to work. It feels like 39 right now out on the field. And we got 14 mile an hour winds coming out of the northwest, gusts up to 20 miles per hour. So I'm going to look for when this game kicks off here in a couple of minutes. It's supposed to drop to 41, or feels like 41, and it will be about 30-something when we get to the boys' game. So how big of a factor is that going to be that this game is going to be absolutely cold?
Well, it's just the fact of, on the bench staying warm up. You got to stay ready and be ready to go in and being warm. And also, if you're the goalkeeper, you got to be staying warm as well if you're not getting a bunch of action, just staying loose and all that stuff. So just trying to move around as much as you can.
Carroll Senior Night coming up here. We're going to take a moment, Jackson, to actually go through the seniors and kind of honor them in our own way. These are our local athletes. We want to give them kind of the flowers that they've got here. Marin Overmole, Sadie Kelly, Jersey Spore, Zoe Feld, Leah Nystrom, Maggie Tuning, Aubrey Schmidt-Hubbard, Amanda Wardell, and Jenny Villanueva going to be the seniors for the Carroll Tigers tonight. And, I talked to Coach Steph Jorgensen sometimes throughout the week. Every other week we do interviews with him here. And, she kind of talks about it a lot, how much these girls have meant to this program, how much they have meant to building what this program has become, Jackson. And that's huge because, Marin's been 3-year starter in the goal box. Amanda's been out there. Aubrey Schmidt-Hubbard's been out there. Jersey's been out there. These are pivotal pieces to what Carroll has built.
Yeah, and they were there, kind of when it sort of started with Coach Jorgensen as well, just trying to find their footing and trying to find their own way. And they've started to find it a little better, and they've been improving more and more every year. And, this is, I'm sure, tough for her, losing those seniors that have just been great role players and just great overall teammates for this Tigers.
And the funny thing, we look across the board here, and East Sac's probably in that same situation. Chloe Barrett, Jordan Carroll, Quincy Herrig, Paige Polzine, you got Carla Blasi, Sarah Bontrager, Finia Vogel, Lara Pascalin, Millie Monahan. There is names after names after names on this list. And, they lose probably their four biggest players, Carla, Sarah, Jordan, and Danae, all within this next year. So, you kind of got to live it up now, and you kind of, as your coach Bob Babe, this is kind of your moment to get things rolling, and this is the year to do it.
Yeah, and it's going to be really tough next year, having to try to rebuild and find somebody to build around next year. But, those seniors out there for East Sac have just been great, especially, with Carla Blasi coming this year. She's been a fantastic player with Chloe going down, so it's definitely going to be hard for Coach Babe watching those girls go.
And we talk about this all the time here as we've got senior night things rolling on for the Carroll Tigers, but how big of an addition was Carla Blasi? I know Coach Babe said if her and Chloe were there, it would have been bigger, but how big of an addition was it for East Sac to have kind of that insurance policy if Chloe goes down and we just fill, that same role with a girl that's almost, if not better than what she was?
Oh, it was huge, and even Coach Babe will tell you that. It was huge to have her because once Chloe went down at Denison, they were like, oh no, this is not good at all. This is really bad. And then with Carla stepping in there, it's been working out great for him, and he's been really excited with the way she's been playing.
And we talked to Coach Babe as well about physicality tonight, and what they want to bring to the table here. And he says there's a line in soccer. Obviously you can be very physical in soccer, but there is a line that you cannot cross here. And he says that, our goal is to try and maybe get Carroll to cross that line here, Jackson. But for some of our newer listeners and some of our guys and girls listening right now that don't understand the game of soccer the same way somebody else would, what does that line all entail of, the point of no return line, or kind of that line of caution that you don't want to get to?
Yeah, you don't want to get chippy. You don't want to start being too aggressive. You can be physical. You can put your body weight around a little bit, but you don't want to put it too far around.
We're going to go ahead and step away. We've got the national anthem coming up here. We'll be right back after this.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
For over 50 years, Pringer Slumberland has been your trusted destination for all things furniture and flooring. Hi, it's Matt Pringer, third generation in our family-owned business. We understand the importance of creating spaces where memories are made and cherished. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, personalized service, and unbeatable value has made us a staple in the community. Pringer Slumberland is more than just a furniture store. We're part of your community, and when you shop with us, you're not just furnishing your home, you're investing in the livelihood of your neighbors. Pringer Slumberland, Highway 30 West in Carroll.
St. Anthony Regional Hospital, the regional leader in healthcare, dedicated to improving the health of the people they serve. At St. Anthony Regional Cancer Center, you'll find the convenience of cancer and oncology consultation and treatment in one convenient location. At St. Anthony Clinic, you'll find a team of doctors and nurses that care about you and your family's health. St. Anthony Clinic is devoted to comprehensive healthcare for people of all ages. For every stage of life, always look to the cross. Always St. Anthony.
Evening as we've got the Carroll boys and ESAC boys following up this broadcast here very soon. Jackson, what a time to be here, you know, as we have got we've got a very fun matchup again between ESAC and Carroll coming up here soon. Kickoff coming up right now between ESAC and Carroll girls. Carla Blasi up top for the Raiders. She'll work it back to the south, and we talked to Coach Babe. Said they wanted to maybe win the toss and they wanted to go south early, but looks like they're going to be working to the north.
Yeah, and you know, we see both boys teams have showed up here as Coach Gary McGill pulls up with the boys squad for Carroll, and both the ESAC boys Carroll squad is here.
And Carla Blasi, they're laying out for that ball in that back row. Anna Steinkamp kind of took her out as they're working this game.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just kind of going back and forth, you know, trading those turnovers and passes there, and ESAC's doing a really good job of moving the ball down here.
And it's going to take that as we've got ESAC back in their own goal side. Stabbing at it there that time. Going to be Emma Kisher. They're going to reverse it to the far side for Kisher again on the left. She's going to work back out as in the middle now. Going to be Hunziker. She's turning it back out, and it kicks the through ball to Carroll. And it looks like we'll have a foul on the Carroll Tigers, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be on Schmidt Hubbard there. I think she kind of threw the elbow around a little bit.
And sorry if we had some issues here. We couldn't get the audio to work right away. Mr. Jeff Blankman listening. Thank you for making sure we're on. As Carla Blasi working it to the far side now. Now into the middle for Carroll. She took a stab at it. Sets up at about the 20-yard line. Almost got taken out there. Schmidt Hubbard going to reverse this thing back, going the other way. Jackson, what have you seen so far from both teams in this about minute and a half we've got?
I mean, both teams being really aggressive so far, and ESAC's been kind of the more aggressive team out there. But, you know, Carroll trying to match that aggressiveness here, especially with Schmidt Hubbard. She's been all over the field. Is now Carroll going to try and reverse the field here with Jersey Spore?
Jersey Spore sent the through ball. Sadie Kelly's going for it here, Jackson. She's been out for almost the entire season, and she's down on her own side as she tried to save it. Couldn't get it to stay in bounds, but, you know, that's one of those moments, Jackson. Sadie not able to play track or soccer this year due to injury, and we're fortunate enough that she was able to play tonight and able to get out there on the field for the Carroll Tigers. That's the biggest thing about these sports. These are high school kids, high school athletes between 14 and 18. We never nobody wishes anything against these kids, as these are, again, like I just said, kids.
Yeah, and she almost was able to make a pretty good run there, Mason, and save it. That's why I was like, get there, and then it was just like, ah.
Yeah, and for Carroll here, I mean, that was a key look at the basket early.
Yeah.
Going to be working on the far side here was Bontrager, who sends it out of bounds. Try to take my sweatshirt off, Jackson. Kind of got warm in here.
Yeah, it did get a little warm in here now that the heater kind of kicked on. Very loud, though.
And now looking at it, you know, we got Carroll on their own half of the field. Working across here, Schmidt Hubbard down the 30-yard line. She's going to try and take a shot. Didn't get a good, clean look at it. And it looks like we're going to call a foul here on the East Sac County Raiders. Jersey Spore going to take the free kick here from about the 20-yard line, left hash almost, goes directly at Thayer, and she gets the save. Nice job there from Spore, you know, You don't got that absolute MLS-looking heat, Jackson, off the ball, but still at the same time, pretty good-looking shot as Blasi going to take a touch towards midfield. She'll turn it back into the middle now. Hunziker going to send it back to the middle, stolen away by Hubbard again, and Carroll's defense really proving to be a problem for this ESAC offense to start the game.
Yeah, and ESAC kind of came out and punched first, but then, Carroll's come back and punched even harder now with both Jersey Sport, who's been having a really good season for herself. She's had 3 goals and a couple PKs as well this year, so she's having a pretty good season scoring for Carroll.
And a trip there by Villanueva going to allow ESAC to have the ball at about the 43, and they will free kick from there. Left hash, it'll be Jordan Carroll. She goes up and over to Bontrager at the 20. And Carroll going to reverse it back to the far side. Nobody picking up at midfield. There's about 20 feet of separation between both Carroll and ESAC in that front line and back line.
Going to go for to Kelly there. She's open down the side.
Yeah, and she's going down that right side, takes a touch, shoots on goal, and goes towards that back side there, not able to make it.
Yeah, good job there fighting Kelly, who's one of the faster girls on this team, and glad that Coach Steph Jorgensen could get her back this year, but she's been playing really well so far. She's able to get down that sideline there and just run it all the way down there, but unfortunately not able to score.
They are going to take the free kick here, aims towards the sideline, unable to keep it in bounds as it curves out, and Carroll really using this wind to their advantage to start the game, as Sporer going to take the throw in, dropping it off now to Hegrich, who goes down the sideline, keeps it in, and she'll work it now. Going to be stolen away. Blasi going to take the touch at midfield, turns it back center. Maddie Brady now taking it away here. Both teams working across their back line now. Schmidt-Hubbard takes the header. Blasi drop over to the right side for Bontrager, who sends her the through ball. And both defenses still, once again, working very solid. We got a substitution at about midfield. Jordan Carroll in midfield here. It looks like Anna Steinkamp checking into the ball game here in the back row. Ball going to be free here if Nystrom can get to it, but it'll be kicked out of bounds by Carrico. Jackson, Carroll's got to use this to their advantage here, having the wind at their back, because ESAC's going to come out hot in the second half. So if they can get a goal or two through and make this a 1 or 2-0 game going into half, it'll be huge for them.
Yeah, and having that wind's definitely a huge advantage, especially with those through ball passes and those, in the air passes. It's definitely huge to take advantage of that when you have it.
Carroll now throwing it in. Jersey Spore turning it back to the center, guarded by Blasi. She'll turn it back out. Or no, it was Bontrager on that one. They're going to send the through ball. ESAC going to boot it back to the 40. Villanueva up to the front line now. Kelly using her head. And these are one of those games, Jackson, broadcasting-wise, it ain't going to be very interesting. But this is solid soccer from both teams as the defense is proving very strong. And ESAC, backed up on their own doorstep, have not allowed anything to get through yet as Kelly working down to this right corner and will be kicked out of bounds. Last touch here, again, this time by Polzine.
Yeah, and Sarah Bontrager doing a really good job on defense here for the Raiders. She's been just all over the place. She's using her speed to her advantage, and it's been working really well. She's able to get physical.
Kelly's in the box here. She's going to look at a shot, getting through, and it'll be kicked out of bounds by Carroll out of the backside of the goal. So a corner kick for the Carroll Tigers there. Would have been a really good look for Kelly, but a smart job from ESAC there to notice that ball's too close to the goal, get that thing out of there, and work it now for a corner kick. Sporer with her right foot going low, and it'll be kicked towards the sideline here. ESAC going to kick it up. Polzine up to Blasi. She turns it back inside using that good feet work that she has. Now working it back outside again. Blasi going 1-on-2 there for a minute. Turns them back out, finding Bontrager, who's going to work to the middle. Sends the through ball to Carroll. Carroll trying to take the touch there. Didn't get the full piece of it. It'll be Kisher working outside, blocked off by Wardell. And Wardell going to send it to the sideline. Last touch out of bounds here by Hunziker. Both teams, still struggling to find that goal early, but really good midfield to defensive line play here. Carroll going to be tripped in the midfield. They'll call it on Carroll. And when I say Carroll and Carroll, Jordan Carroll and Carroll High, is Jordan Carroll going to take a shot at the goal. Marin Overmole free catching that thing.
Waving the hand like Cooper DeJean there.
DeJean never waved the hand.
Well.
That's a conspiracy. Through ball here for Carroll as they try to reverse the field. Polzine going to take a stab at it and send it out of bounds. Carroll Tigers again will have head coach Steph Jorgensen, head coach Bob Babe, a girl from each team going in. And Jackson, here's the debut on the season of Chloe Barrett. She's walking to center field at the flag. This is her start of the season right here, as she was their leading scorer last year.
Hasn't played since the Denison Slushwick Jamboree at the beginning of the season.
And they're going to send her to the left side. Coach Babe talked to me about, she wasn't supposed to score that much last year, but she's just so much faster than a lot of other girls that she got to the net very quickly. But she's a girl, left-footed kicker, can turn the ball on the outside and is able to, get crosses and get things like that going here as Carroll going to take a touch and try to send the through ball. Hegrich had it. Chloe Barrett getting the touch on the left side now. Goes inside for Kisher. Try to get another touch. Kisher going to go into Villanueva. Up over the top now. It's going to be Villanueva turning it back outside. Up the field. And it'll roll out of bounds right to the foot of Miss Steph Jorgensen, who, ironically enough, used to play for Carroll. We kind of asked her, Jackson, if she could still lace them up. And says she's got the cleats, but doesn't really lace them up all too often here. Polzine outside. And again, I'm going to reiterate it again, Jackson, it's going to be boring if you're watching it sometimes if you're not a soccer fan, but, this is very solid, good soccer as both teams are playing well in the midfield. We're about 10 minutes in here, still 0-0.
Well, and you don't need to score to have good soccer. Some of the greatest soccer games ever haven't had a score until they went to PKs. I mean, high school getting rid of overtime and PKs, but, some of the best soccer's, those 0-0 games or low-scoring games, you don't have to score 5 goals a game.
Yeah, it's, everyone that likes watching soccer that's not a soccer fan just expects the Ronaldo and Messi hat tricks. But, the best type of soccer from a fundamental standpoint is the ones where it's 1-0, 0-0, 2-1. I mean, you're going to get a goal here and there. But, the worst part about that, Jackson, is you could have a 0-0 game, and it's going to count on your record. I mean, Carroll and ADM just had that in boys soccer a little bit ago. So if you have a 0-0 game, it'll count as Blassie working towards the goal box. Wardell going to turn her outside, and it'll stay in. Bontrager going to send the through ball to the middle. Chloe Barrett going to be on the outside. She's going to take a touch. Now works to her outside. Goes on goal towards the left side. Shoots at the goal. Is going to be tripped on the way there. And will roll behind the goal. Didn't get a clean footing on it. So it will be, I believe, is it a corner kick here?
Yeah, it's a corner kick there for Esac.
I think they called the foul instead of, getting
No, it went out the back, so.
But it was last touched by Bontrager. Or, excuse me, not Bontrager, Barrett.
No, because it went off the leg of the defender there as she tried to shoot. So, yeah, that's why they get the corner.
They're going to put Blassie in the corner. She'll set it up on the outside part of the half circle. She'll go high and inside, backside header attempt, up and over the goal from Sarah Bontrager.
Yeah, good job there. Great corner kick there. Bontrager just not able to get it off the right side of her head and jump there. But, Chloe Barrett, she took that tumble and she's been out there. She's got that brace on her leg, but she's looking really good. She's been running and looking okay. I mean, it doesn't probably look the same with a brace on, but she looks really good so far.
Yeah, the knee kind of does look stiff sometimes when you wear the brace, but that's because the point of that brace sometimes is to restrict the movement that could cause the pain.
Right.
So if you're watching and you see, well, she's kind of slowing up a little bit, it's more than likely that, you're not used to running a full soccer game on a brace, but she's not going to be out there the entire time as Blassie using her footwork, drops to the far side here for Jordan Carroll. She takes a shot from the 20. Coming up wide there, a little Blair Walsh reference.
Good reference right there.
The only bad thing is if you're looking from north to south, it's right, but from where we're looking, that's not politically correct as he went wide left. Herrig going to drop the ball up now to Blassie, who goes center for Jordan Carroll. She's got to look at it. She's going to be cut off by Amanda Wardell, and what a piece Amanda is for this Carroll defense, Jackson. She's, kind of that physical, I don't know what to call it, enforcer of that back line. Is Blassie going to dribble through a couple defenders, shot to the right side of the goal, going to come up no good.
Yeah, and, with her size and her height and with her build, she's been a really good player for Carroll back there. She's able to, and she's also very fast as well, so she can move around and she can play physical. She's definitely very strong. And she's pretty good at winning those one-on-ones on defense.
Yeah, tonight I get to go home and type up stats of this and then do our audio recap. So if you want to find just kind of the breakdown of this game and listen to my voice once again about it, it'll be at sports.1380kcim.com. Through ball here, trying to go for Carroll. It'll be kicked out of bounds. It'll actually, never mind. It's going to stay in bounds and roll to the corner. It'll be still in bounds here. Isak kicking into the back of Aubrey Schmidt-Hubbard there. So we're going to have Carroll working outside now. Chumley getting it to Schmidt-Hubbard. Now back here, both girls going to run into each other as Jordan Carroll playing that midfield role really well. Carla Blasi trying to turn Wardell. She now gets her. She's working down center lane and will be tripped up a little bit. Doesn't look like they're going to call.
No, they will. Here comes the middle.
And Blasi slow to get up there. Glad that she's up and okay. Came up just a tad bit slow. They'll give it to Carroll. Nope, they'll switch it up now for Blasi. She's about 22 yards deep, directly on. Nope. I hate how they switch it so late. 24 yards deep, left hash. Wall of black in front of her for the Carroll Tigers. Blasi running up, takes the shot, and it's going to roll towards Maddie Brady in that back line before Quincy Herrig takes another touch at it. And Marin Overmole going to be... I don't think that's credited as a save.
No, I think it's got to be a little bit. There's a rule where it's got to be so close, or it's got to be kind of right at the goal.
I wonder too if it's the box or if it's just, you have to be in between the posts. But it's also depending on coach to coach because a lot of the coaches take their own stats. As Bontrager going to get to the outside corner, going to be tripped on the way there. Wardell going to save it, and we'll boot it back down. Right there, going to be Blasi. And a collision between Blasi and Steinkamp there. Not a very good-looking play as Carroll going to dribble through a couple of defenders. She's going to get towards the box, takes a shot. Overmole going to try and save it. And it rolls in between Jordan Carroll, knocking in the first goal for Esac County at the 25:03 mark.
Good job there by Jordan Carroll, fighting through the contact, using that 1-2 with the foot, then bringing it back to the right and going on the ground there. Overmole not happy as she thought she had it there. And she did, but I think it just slipped in between her arms there, and it was able to go in the back of the net.
Yeah, and that's just one, you almost got to put your feet in front of it. As Jackson's showing me here, Lal Tharjiev committed to Iowa Central basketball today. We'll have to get an interview with Mr. Louie about his commitment to go play there. We post all of our interviews with local kids for college commitments. I did one with Danae Thayer about a week ago, actually. It was about the day after we had done the Kemper East Sac game. So... But yeah, congratulations to Mr. Tharjath. I almost thought maybe he'd go to DMAC because you and I saw the one time DMAC was there. Blasi going to get to the corner, almost tripped up. Wardell keeps the ball in front of her, now dribbling outside. She's going to push up to about the 35 before sending a through ball.
Good slide tackle there from Amanda there, Mason, as she was able to connect it. She's been working on that recently, she said.
And Carroll goes down at center field, and she's down and grabbing at the ankle here. Tough girl and just not a good-looking play there. Carroll, one of the captains for ESAC, and she's kind of hobbling through that midfield here and now just standing upright. So I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Babe gets somebody off the bench and brings them in for Miss Jordan Carroll here.
I think that's what they're going to do right here.
Yeah, we're hoping that she's all right here. Looks like they're going to get Aaliyah Tibbs-Kennebeck off the bench and going to run out there for Jordan, and she'll run to the sideline. You see that kind of visible limp that she's got going to the sideline here, so we'll probably have Coach Babe checking up on her and making sure that she is all right.
Well, and we also seen that, I don't know if you saw it, but Mr. Jude Gibson from Ballard, who won a state title, committed to DMAC.
That's what I was thinking, is maybe him and Louie would play together if Louie was going to DMAC, but he's a great young man, I tell you that. I talked to him down at state basketball after they won the title. I was fortunate enough to be in the interview room, after the Kemper one, and Jude was there as well, and great young kid, but,
Could you imagine that duo playing together? Kobe Shaq.
I mean, if Mac and Jake can throw lobs like that to Louie, it's going to be a whole different game. But again, congratulations to Mr. Tharjath anyway of getting to that next level. He took a huge jump in every sport that he's got this year. Esac working the ball towards center field. Steinkamp going to kick it back to the center, and it looks like we're going to call a handball here on the Tigers. We've got Peyton Moore and Lily Freeze at center field getting ready to go for their first appearance. Is Blasi going to take it from midfield this time from the 25 for the free kick. She's going to go high and through the uprights, Jackson. Still impressive, though, for that young lady. I mean, she's not a very, tall, big, physical girl, but she's got a really good leg.
Yeah, and I mean that's what we see a lot of players. You don't have to be that big and stuff to have a really good leg. I've seen plenty of soccer players that they could kick it from the 30-yard line from over here and hit it over on DMAC and stuff like that. Not trying to name names, but I think we know who I'm talking about.
He's gonna tell you that next time he sees you again.
Well,
Barrett dribbling through a couple of defenders here, drops off for Blassie. Ball no good. They're gonna try and send her a through ball. She's gonna take a shot low left. Didn't get enough on it, and Overmole able to just kind of inch her way over there to pick up that one. Nice. Looking back over here, Jordan Carroll getting her ankle taped behind the bench right now, so she's more than likely coming into the ball game here eventually as a handball going to be called on the Raiders. I haven't seen too many of those this year, Jackson. When you get some, soccer teams that are very physical, you see a couple of them every year, but this one going to roll out. Last touch by Esac.
Yeah, and you don't see it really often, especially with good teams. It's kind of, and it's one of those things as well that it just, it happens. As we got an injury now, as Chloe Barrett helping up her teammate there. I'm not sure who that is.
That's Carla Blassie.
Oh.
And they're going to be talking to her here. Carla actually going to head her way to the bench now.
Yeah,
it looks like
the referee came over and he put up the stoppage sign with his arms there as to stop the play.
Yeah, the old, it's kind of the same reference you get with, I'm gonna let you in on a secret here. I watch a lot of wrestling, pro wrestling, Jackson, and in fact, WWE. If you throw up the X means, it's not, this is real, and this is something that's got to be taken care of now. It's most commonly associated with injuries, so soccer and wrestling in that sense. If you see that X, Jackson, that's kind of, hey, we gotta stop things here. Somebody's down and somebody's hurt.
Or the Des Bryant X.
Des didn't catch it, though.
He did.
Rules official here. Carroll running down. Lily Freeze shot on goal. Thayer going to get down to the knees and able to keep that one outside of the goal. Esac still leading 1-0 here. 20:40 to go in this first half. But what a blow here. We've got Coach Bob Babe. It looks like just a cramp for Miss Blassie here. He's kind of, rubbing the calf of Blassie there. As that's what you get when you're a trainer sometimes, is if you get those type of injuries, you got to really get in there and massage the calf, whether you got the massage gun, whatever you really got there. But, just kind of looks like one of those common cramps you get. But it's a huge blow. We talked about, the first time is Wardell going to boot this thing to Thayer in the goal box. But we talked about the first time you're going to get those 4 stars for Esac together, and 2 of them go out within this first couple of minutes of the game.
And 2 of the more better ones for them this season with Barrett not being able to play is it's not even Barrett that's out.
Yeah, Barrett's still out there. You worried me for a minute because she was out there, and you go, Chloe's out there and somebody's hurt. And I'm like, I hope she didn't hurt her knee again.
Oh, no, she was just helping her teammate Blassie up. And I was like, oh, that's definitely not good, but it's better.
Ball going to get reversed to the offensive end of Esac. Got Cody Wardell of the Carroll Tigers here. I don't see him all too often anymore outside of football season with me not being at the high school anymore.
He's streaming.
He's the one streaming?
Yeah, he streams.
Is he broadcasting?
No, he does just Twitch streams, stuff like that.
Oh, like Call of Duty COD?
Yeah, that's his nickname, COD.
Ball gonna be reversed out of bounds. Last touched here again by Carroll. So Esac will get the throw in. It'll be Chloe Barrett throwing in. She'll drop it once again. Ball gonna be missed there for a second by Glass, and it'll get to the foot now of Kisher. She'll try and turn outside. Kisher went down hard there again. And that's what we kind of talked about early, Jackson. This game's going to be very physical, and you see a lot of that in these physical games. Is that girls are going to go down, girls or guys are going to go down, and it's gonna look pretty ugly.
Yeah, and there's a certain level to where you can and can't let them play. If occasionally they get tied up and they just fall down, or it's a little jabbing back and forth, that's fine. But when they start really laying into each other, then it's like, okay, we got to stop this.
Jersey Spore working it now. She's at the 10. She's going to take a shot from that deep. Thayer going to get in front of it, drops it, and Kelly streaking down the field just 3 inches behind, having a chance to get to that one. Almost had a look at it in a free lane to the goal boxes. Ball going to be dropped out of bounds. Last touched here by Carroll. So it will be Esac throwing in. Jackson, just as we talked about, those 2 stars getting out of the game. Look who's walking back on the field here. Jordan Carroll, Carla Blassie, going to go back out onto the pitch. Coming out of the game here now, going to be Hunziker. as well as Kisher. So 2 starters going to drop out, and 2 more are going to return. Through ball now going to try and find Barrett. Carroll's going to be the one to touch it instead. Wardell, we're flipping the field here. Drops it off now for Barrett, who's looking outside. It'll be Kennebeck who has it. She'll turn it up now that left side, outside of the hashes. Lost the ball for a minute. She'll turn it back now inside. I was trying to see where they put everyone here. It looks like they're going to run 4 wide up top with a couple of wings, a couple of mids here. You're going to have Blassie, Barrett, Bontrager, and Carroll up top. Kennebeck trying to weave through the defense. Carroll tried to boot one there and just unable to keep it alive as this one going to roll to the Carroll sideline. Last touch here by the Tigers.
Yeah, and, both teams getting a couple chances here. I mean, ESAC being able to capitalize on one and Carroll almost having the chance to capitalize, but both playing really good right now. It's been a pretty good game so far as we're at about 17 minutes left to go in the first half.
Yeah, and trying to see if we can get our crowd mic to work here. I don't want it to sound like we're in a closet, but...
I think we might have to have Mr. Pete Collison come in and help us with that.
I know how to do it, but I've got a little bit of it on there, so maybe you'll hear a little more. We don't sound like we're trapped in a closet now, Jackson, but, still fun game going on here. Almost 15 minutes to go left in this first half. It is 1-0 ESAC County. Maggie Tuning set to check in for the Carroll Tigers here as a throw-in going to come from Quincy Herrig. Blassie going to take the touch, turns up the left sideline here and finding Chloe Barrett. Barrett goes middle. And nobody home for the Raiders. Steinkamp taking a touch. Carroll coming behind her to get it. Jordan going to turn up the sideline here. Very standout setter for ESAC County over this volleyball season. Talking about volleyball, Jackson, again, we do interviews with all of our local kids here that go to college. As it looks like it's going to be Polzine and Kelly fighting for the ball here. Polzine going to punch it out of bounds to keep the Tigers away from it. But we've had plenty of setters this season and plenty of standout athletes go to college, So we've done a lot of interviews. If you want to listen to any of those, again, sports.1380kcim.com.
Well, and still plenty more kids left to decide, too, as I was talking with a couple of kids that still haven't decided.
Yeah, there's plenty, so.
And there's really good athletes that we've had over the year, especially in the basketball season from Carroll Kemper I talked to. They still haven't decided what their plan is.
Yeah, I know a couple of the Kemper kids that I talked to are not fully decided yet. As Spore going to work back outside here. Tries to cross low. Kelly almost had a shot. Lily Freeze taking that second shot here. And ESAC going to turn this thing back out and almost getting the goal there was Sadie Kelly. As Bontrager now going up the right sideline. Going to dribble it herself. Sends it to the middle now for Blassie. Then touched it back out for Bontrager. Sarah going to turn now. Looks to send the through ball. And goes up and into the head of Amanda Wardell. Wardell now going to flip it back to the Carroll offensive side. Kelly chasing the ball down. Schmidt-Hubbard now sends it. Nobody there. Jersey Spores one-on-one with Danae Thayer. She goes to the right side. Shot up, going, and it's good for the Carroll Tigers. Jersey Spore knocking it through at the 14:45 mark.
Yeah, good job finding Spore there as Carroll's been able to get open on that right wing there. Basically anybody that's been over there has been open, and they've been able to get a good run there. This time she was able to catch it onside there and just have that one-on-one and just goes right after her with the power shot there right at the top of the net and able to beat Danae Thayer for the goal.
Top right of the goal that time, Jackson. Had the whole left side there. Decided, I'm going to go straight at you and go straight at that top right.
Hey, sometimes you just got to have that confidence. You can't back down and go the opposite side. You might miss.
And score going to be tied up 1-1 now, 14:45 mark. ESAC now working it back to their defensive back line as they're going to dribble it up now. Getting it to Kennebeck. She turns in the midfield. Couple of dribbles now. And we'll find Chloe Barrett on the outside. A couple of ricochets there. Barrett going to turn up down that left sideline. Keeping it inbounds. Blassie gets it. And looks like they're going to call it out of bounds instead. So it'll once again now be Carroll Tiger ball.
I will say, though, Mason, most of the girls that we said might not get to play very much tonight or at all have been playing pretty much a good amount of minutes. As Sadie Kelly, she's been going in and out. She's been playing a good amount of minutes, and same with as well as Chloe Barrett.
Leah Nystrom going down the right sideline, trying to get to the corner here. Polzine going to kick it out of bounds in front of the flag, so it will still be a throw-in. Very narrow throw-in, but Tigers still on the offensive end here. Looks like it'll be Maggie Tuning throwing the ball in. So we've got the boys game after this one as well, Jackson. Again, we'll have interviews with both coaching staffs and players coming up after this game. Throw in from Maggie Tuning, going to Spore, down short side, and it'll be kicked out towards the sideline here. Stays in, had a little backspin on it. The old Jackson Kerrigan on the green of hole 18 at Augusta. Some backspin there.
I wish.
Neither of us will ever get the chance to play Augusta, and that's crazy.
Not unless I know someone famous one day.
You gotta, unless you know the greatest of all time, Rory McIlroy. I can't even finish my sentence because I know how much you hate Rory.
Let's just get back to soccer, Mason. We don't need to start that argument.
Greatest of all time, Tiger.
Thank you.
Well,
stop.
Jeff would argue with us.
Stop.
Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, the Golden Bear was good in his day. He was very good in his day, actually. I mean, he's won the most majors.
Yeah. Who's the greatest soccer player of all time, then?
I can't debate that. I honestly just watch soccer a lot of the time to watch the high school kids and to watch Team USA, so I can't debate with that.
Yeah, Leo Messi and Ronaldo, I think, are probably the two.
I would say Messi probably because he's got the World Cup, and that's probably one of the hardest achievements to get in sports.
Has Ronaldo not won a World Cup?
He has not. Ronaldo is yet to win a World Cup.
That is kind of crazy to me. He hasn't really had good teams, though.
Oh, he has. They've battled injury, and they just haven't gotten the good luck.
Well, I mean, because if you look at it, Argentina is one of the best soccer places.
Well, in Brazil and, the likes of Germany every year, and even Italy. I mean, Italy's kind of fallen off the map recently, not qualifying the last couple of years, but they're still a really solid club.
Yeah, but you know what? That's just kind of the way it goes here. You have streaks of up and streaks of down as Kennebec finds Jordan Carroll, who takes a shot, and maybe we need to get her out and kick for, maybe she needs to kick for the Raiders. If she had another year of eligibility, kick for the Raiders for football there. That was high and almost went through from about 20 yards. So
give her the red shirt year, let it go kick.
Hey, I told Ken Massey I've got an extra year of eligibility due to COVID.
COVID year.
They should have done that in high school.
No.
Let them just play one more year.
No.
Chloe Barrett working. She's gonna almost have a look at it. Amanda Wardell kicks it into her own teammate there for a second. Now she's gonna work it back to the outside, kicks it out of bounds. So it'll be Kisher throwing the ball in here for the Sac County Raiders. Beautiful Merchants Park, just over the horizon. As that one going to be starting to get used here, Jackson. We're 3 weeks away from opening day from high school.
Yeah, Carroll's got a scrimmage this weekend on Sunday against Manning again. They get 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock they're scrimmaging, is what I was told by the players. Carroll actually going to have a scrimmage next Friday on their schedule against Atlantic.
And Polzine going to kick this one, and it's going to roll behind the flag this time, out of bounds on their end. So it'll be a corner kick for the Carroll Tigers. They're going to have a look at the goal once again. If they can, like I said, Jackson, if they can gain this lead before the halftime, they're going to be looking pretty. But ESAC's going to come out aggressive.
Yeah, and with this, you can't, just go kind of vanilla once you get the lead, though. You got to keep up that tenacity, and you just got to stay aggressive. You can't just let up.
Corner kick coming from Jersey Spores. She's going to go high in center. Kick on the way there, no good. Thayer coming in to save it. It was a low roller, and Thayer, smart option here, rolling out. Saw Bontrager with nobody in front of her, just a ton of green turf. And she rolls it to her, sends the through ball this time in the middle for Carla Blasi. She's got 20 yards of separation from the next closest Carroll defender. She tried to send Bontrager with the through ball, then Blasi going to take it herself and push it towards the goal. Overmole getting some more action in front of the goal there with the hand on the ball before drop kicking it to the far left side. A couple of substitutions here. Quincy Herrig back into the game. We've also got Hunziker and Lauren Lally checking into the game for the East Sac County Raiders.
Both teams kind of doing a couple substitutions here. They've been kind of substituting pretty heavily so far, as we've seen that kind of out of both boys and girls clubs for each respective school this year, Mason.
Yeah, and, Carroll not having the same depth that they wish they would have had, with Kelly getting hurt and everything. But with her back tonight, you can substitute very frequently. Carroll working it outside. Kicks it up to Bontrager once again. Back to Carroll in the middle. She sends the through ball down the line. Blasi's open. Got Wardell on her. Takes the shot and drills Wardell. Now Carroll goes to the middle. Shot up. And tell me, straight through the uprights once again.
It's good.
That one coming from Kisser this time, going through the uprights. And I don't know how many. I wish we had a counter for how many times that has happened throughout the, this is our 5th game?
Yes. If you count both boy, girl.
Yeah, so this would be our 5th game of broadcasting. I would wonder if somebody wanted to go back and check how many times that has happened here. As they're going to drop it outside. Bontrager fighting to go get that ball. She's going to turn it outside. Looks to cross it in and goes behind the goal that time. And will roll out of bounds.
You know, Mason, I will say I do like the Esaks, putting the pressure and just kind of shooting from everywhere and kind of making Marin Overmole work and keeping Carroll on their toes. You don't always need to have those close shots. As long as you can, occasionally get a lucky one that gets close and keep it on your side, you can just keep the momentum moving.
Sadie Kelly and Zoe Feld set to check in here for the Carroll Tigers. Jackson, I wish, not for like the station, but for me personally, I wish I was sponsored by Prime.
Hey, you're a WWE fan. You better hit up Logan Paul.
I don't have that pull.
You never know.
Carroll dropping the ball in here. Maybe I can tell him that, I've got whatever handball going to be called here on, I believe he's sack, but
You've got the best broadcaster voice in the world.
oh, whatever. Maybe I should do that, Jackson, to start broadcasting wrestling. set up a wrestling ring in the middle of center or the middle field here, like at the 50.
You'd be the next McAfee.
I'd be more Michael Cole.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge McAfee guy right now. Bontrager throw in here this time for Carroll. About the 30-yard line. Carroll, awkward landing on the ball there. Bontrager able to keep it away from the defense, though. She'll turn back out, finding Carroll on that right side. Sends the through ball just a little bit too far, and Marin Overmole able to pick it up. Got the Carroll boys team out to our left here, Jackson, in the stands, as they're getting ready for their highly anticipated matchup.
Well, and I seen the East Sac boys were sitting over there a little earlier. They might have came over here to get concessions or something, but over kind of in that front row on the far side, they were sitting there.
The other thing, you come over here and you don't got that sun blaring in your eyes. That's the kind of advantage that you get here. As Spore is onside. Again, she's going down that right sideline. She's going to be outside, turns it into the middle, and it will be booted towards the goal box. Once again, it's still live. Kelly goes out to about the 15 to get it, and they're going to call a handball here on the Carroll Tigers.
Yeah, and once again, Carroll just working that right wing there, and nobody's been able to mark that right wing no matter who it's been over there, and Carroll just able to run with it and get some quality runs.
And we saw that same problem, with the Carroll boys against Kemper Jackson with Tim Myers, back-to-back plays. Didn't mark up that right side. Ball goes on the through ball here, and they couldn't keep it away from the goal box as Carroll going to take the free kick here. Ball's got the backspin on it, so it will roll out of bounds. Set to throw in here, going to be Maggie Tuning. Subbing into the game here, going to be Kayla Cummings. Coming out, Maddie Breddy. Maddie, told us today that she was excited for the game when we were standing over by the bench. This ball going to be dropped into the midfield for Chloe Barrett. She turns it back outside now. Looking up the sideline, will go back now to Kisher, and it will roll out of bounds. Last touch this time, I believe. Yeah, they will call it off of East Sac. It'll go now to Carroll in center field. She's got plenty of room, but Kelly sneaking up behind her, able to get this one. Spore going to send the through ball, and Herrig going to punch it back out. And this is kind of that pinball game that you see here. Is this one going to roll into the goal box and will be scooped up by the Raiders. Kick here. Bontrager able to get it with her body, keeping it alive. Now tries to send the through. Couldn't get it. Wardell moving up now to the midfield. Jackson, less of a defender now and more of a midfielder for the Tigers, as she's been that center back all season. Bontrager loses it. Steinkamp turning her back to the middle. Sends another through ball. Herrig taking one touch and just a little short. Kelly going to take the touch now. Herrig. And it's back and forth. They'll send the through ball again, but has not been successful.
Yeah, and Carroll kind of moving people around here is, Amanda Wardell has been kind of coming up and playing that midfield as well, Mason. And we've just seen a lot of girls for both teams just move around. They haven't been at one set position. They've been kind of moving all over the place and trying to help it each way they can.
Right there, really awkward play. Ricocheted off of her own teammate from East Sac, and unable to get the goal, unfortunately, but it ricocheted and almost went into their own goal.
Good touch there by Anna Steinkamp.
Yeah, gets it up to Jersey Spore outside of the numbers on the right side. She'll twerk down the sideline now, lost the ball, and Herrig coming up with it. Fighting for it now, going to be Cummings, working to the center of the numbers. East Sac going to flip it past the 50. Wardell going to send it back the other way. Throw in going to come for East Sac now. 4 minutes to play in this first half. 1-1. Carroll turning it outside. Drops it off. And it'll be working here. Kennebec going to push it up. Flossie sticking out her foot there. Took out one of the Tigers, but just tried to get, a look at it. Herrig lost it. Spore going to turn up down the sideline. Herrig beating her for the foot race before Spore keeps it inbounds and Works it back to the middle for Sadie Kelly, who lost it. Back line here. Kennebec going to dribble up. Gets up to the center of the 40. Working it now across once again here. Sporer drops it off again for Cummings now as she's outside the numbers on the 20. Tries to take a shot. No good. Wide right.
I will say it's definitely cold out there, Mason, as I seen Mr. Connor Crabb with 3C Visions, all bundled up wearing gloves and kind of hanging out up here by us. And then, for Carroll's team, Peter Okumu, he had his hands and arms inside his sweatshirt like this. They weren't even in the arms of the sweatshirts.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out there. I told you about 30 degrees. Connor going to be shooting video highlights for us tonight here, brought to you by Western Iowa Networks. So you can find those on the CB Sports Network Instagram and TikTok and YouTube as well. Ball going to be worked to about the 35. Carroll going to punch it out to the midfield. And a hard fall there by Kisher. Got, the foot of the defender put right in front of her. Isak working it now back to the midfield for Jordan Carroll. She's going to look on the through ball, goes up and over, and it's a foot race. Wardell going to absolutely take out Carla Blasi there and kicks it out of bounds. And I was surprised there. I'm not hating on the play there, but I'm surprised they didn't call anything as Wardell didn't really go for the ball. And now that it looks like they will call something there as Wardell didn't really go for the ball. She kind of just punched Blasi right out of the way.
Yeah, that one was definitely foul there. She kind of went more towards her than the ball. As now Barrett's got a chance, but good job there by Villanueva to kick that one away.
Yeah, Villanueva kicking it out of bounds. It'll be Isak ball once again. Barrett at about the 10. We've got Kennebec checking into the game for Kisher here. Looks like she might be either tired or a little bit hurt. Is Kennebec going to fight for the ball? They're going to drop outside for Carroll, and it will roll to the sideline, but they'll keep it in. Miraculous play there by Cummings to keep it in. It's a foot race now. They're working it down to center lane. Nice job there from Monahan to turn him back outside, keeping it away from the goal box. Still a minute 18 to play in this first half. Jackson and I at the halftime will deliberate and come back to you with a verdict of how this first half went.
Wait, who's Mike and who's Harvey?
I'm Harvey, obviously.
Oh, dang, I kind of wanted to be Mike.
If you haven't seen my Instagram post, Jeff's Harvey and I'm Mike.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Jeff does not get to be Harvey. He doesn't understand the lore.
Jeff knows Suits. He's watched it.
I know, but he doesn't get the lore.
If you haven't realized, that is kind of the dynamic there.
That is
Except
true.
for the fact that I'm not a fraud because I don't need to go to college to be what I'm doing.
But you also know what we did forget to announce today, even though it happened yesterday?
We're not announcing it because I'm not willing to lose my job.
Oh, well, I do it. Well, happy late birthday to Mr. Jeffrey Blankman, if he's listening.
Yeah, you're banned from ever being in the broadcast booth again.
That's not true. You're going to need me.
30 seconds to go. Need is a strong word.
Or we have a softball, you'll need me.
Need is a strong word. Bontrager going to send the through ball here, looking for Carroll. Caught by the foot of Cummings. Blasi going to try and fight her off. 19 seconds to go. If they can reverse this, it's probably it. And it will be. 15 seconds now. Sporer kind of working with some urgency. With just about 15 seconds to go. Sends through the middle. Kelly's got a chance. She's one-on-one with Thayer. Takes the shot. And no good. 5 seconds to go. That'll do it. A 1-1 half for both teams here as Jackson and I got a big half coming up here next. We're going to go ahead and step away for 3 minutes. We'll have your halftime report coming up next here on the CB Sports Network.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 16 years running. Together, let's drive at Mackey Motors in Lake City. MackeyMotors.com.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
Trees Company.
People want and deserve more comfort, efficiency, and reliability, both in their homes and places of work. Dries Company will be there to meet these challenges, whether we are designing a new system or servicing your existing equipment. We are a rapidly growing company that strives to meet and exceed all your expectations. No matter if you are looking to buy new appliances or need the help from one of our certified technicians, we are here for you. We pride ourselves in our installation and service. Dries Company, servicing the Carroll area since 1933.
Motor Inn of Carroll is your hometown team for all of your sales, service, parts, and collision needs all season long. From the helpful sales staff to the area's best service department, Motor Inn of Carroll has the expertise that you need to stay on the road and keep that auto investment looking good. From work to play, they have it all. Good luck to all the area teams from Motor Inn of Carroll.
From footings to framing to finish. For farm, home, or commercial, for more than 90 years, Wall Lake Lumber Company has been proud to help our communities grow. With 4 convenient locations and one of the largest building material inventories in the area, we are sure to be able to fill all your building needs. From project design and estimating to friendly advice, we can't wait to be part of the process for you. Wall Lake Lumber, with locations in Wall Lake, Lakeview, Odebolt, and Carroll. We're not your grandpa's lumberyard.
Oh, hell no! Not again! Has the roof on your home or business been damaged by the recent hailstorm? Does your roof need looked at? Let our hail damage experts at Brinks Exteriors work for you to get you a new roof. Call 712 Roof Pro. We know the last thing you want to do is worry about your biggest investment. Hail happens, but we can fix it. Call Brinks Exteriors now for a free roof inspection. 712 Roof Pro.
Welcome back to the CB Sports Network here. Jackson Kerrigan is not in the booth right now. He's down getting food for both me and him. I'm going to make him run the camera in a little bit as well, as we're going to, we're not mean to our camera people, so we're going to let Megan take a little break here. But, first half, 1-1 for both teams here. A goal from Jordan Carroll went right low against Marin Overmold, just barely getting by her hands to go through the box there. And then Jersey Sport at the 14:45 mark went high right from the right side and got that right corner, just inching it over to Nate Thayer there to get the goal for the Tigers. And I kind of joked, though, we talked to Coach Bob Babe about the 4 girls that, will make that big impact with Carroll, Bontrager, Blassie, and Barrett up front. And it was weird. The 2 girls, that have had injury problems this season, Carla Blassie, Chloe Barrett. Carla came out for a little bit. Chloe's been in almost this first half, and Coach told me we're going to play her at intervals and see how it goes, but she's been in almost this full first half here. But when you look at, the other 2 girls, Jordan went out for a little bit as well. Sarah's been in there this entire time. But ESAC has looked really solid with those 4 girls up top here. It's just going to take a little more work from that midfield to be able to keep the ball on their offensive end. But when we talked to Coach Babe as well, he said that once they have the wind at their back and they're going with the wind, they're going to be very aggressive. He said he wanted that in the first half, but with them not getting the win, we're expecting that in the second half here. Carroll just, struggling a little bit, I'd say. Obviously, you get Amanda Wardell in the back row that can kind of clean everything up, but, she can't do it her whole self here. So if ESAC is able to attack some of those gaps, they'll probably be in good shape. But for Carroll, they've got to get that ball to Jersey Sport or get it to Sadie Kelly. They're outrunning a lot of these ESAC defenders and are able to, keep the ball on their offensive end when they get it there. Jersey with the goal there, Sadie with a couple of good looks. But we'll get Jackson's thoughts in a little bit here as we'll go ahead and step away once more. Another 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll have maybe Jackson Kerrigan up here depending on how fast he is.
This fall, cozy up with internet that keeps up. With Windspeed Fiber Internet from Western Iowa Networks, enjoy 1 gig speeds for just $99.99 a month. Perfect for streaming, football, fall shows, and working from home. No lag, no interruptions, just the speed you need all season long. Other speed packages available starting at just $59.99 a month. Call or text 712-775-2946 for details or visit westinet.com today. Western Iowa Networks, connecting you to what matters for 120 years.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
It's okay.
your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave.
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless.
Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
For details, contact Nicole Unken at Nicole Unken Agency.
These DMAC Carroll campus students are tomorrow's nurses. They're leaders, smart, dedicated, and they care about their community.
My experience in DMAC nursing so far, I get to make difference in people's lives during their most vulnerable times, and I build friendships along the way.
The interaction between the faculty, staff, and professor with the students are really close. They really help us a lot every time.
Get started today.
At Collins Aerospace, we believe in investing in our employees' future. That's why we are proud to offer our Employee Scholar Program. Whether you want to pursue a professional certificate or a degree related to the industry, we offer full tuition reimbursement and even paid study time. Our Employee Scholar Program is the perfect tool to help achieve the future you've been dreaming of. At Collins, we don't just want to offer you a job, we want to offer you a career and a future in aerospace. For details on the Collins Aerospace Employee Scholar Program, visit us at careers.rtx.com.
Family owned and operated since 1948, Quant Auto Salvage is the area's best full-service scrap facility. Whether you are looking to sell scrap iron, vehicles, or batteries, or for your vehicle, they have what you need. And if it isn't in stock, they can locate it with their nationwide parts database, or you can pull it yourself at their You Pull It. Quant Auto Salvage. They sell the best and recycle the rest on Kitty Hawk Avenue in Carroll.
Midwest Wholesale is your local building products headquarters. We have everything you need for your smaller home improvements to the building of your home or commercial building. We pride ourselves on giving you top-notch service, quality products with competitive prices. So whether you're a do-it-yourselfer, a contractor, or you just need a little help on a project, Midwest Wholesale is a one-stop resource for all your building needs. Midwest Wholesale, how you want it, when you want it, where you want it, we deliver.
Back to the CB Sports Network here. Jackson Kerrigan going to bring in our food in about 3, 2, 1. See that timing there? Connor Crabb standing in here with me knows the timing. Jackson, I've got some news for you. You get to go run the camera for a minute while Megan goes to get water. So, go have fun, Jackson. You go have fun doing that. But yeah, like I said, we're not cruel to our camera people. We'll let them go get water. We might be a little cruel to Connor sometimes. He's not allowed to have water during the games, but like I said, Connor Crabb going to be putting out some highlights for us. You can go find those on the CB Sports Network, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of those fun places. Jackson Kerrigan now getting to be the camera boy. This is more of like what I like to see, not having a headset on him. You can just have the headphones and only hear me. But again, minute to go here in this halftime break. We've got the East Sac County Raiders and the Carroll Tigers live tonight on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel. Girls game currently underway. The boys game going to be following right after. We'll also get senior night activities for the Carroll Tigers. Jackson doesn't get to enjoy these cinnamon bites while I'm up here, so he doesn't even get to see if I eat all of his. He telling me to wait to not eat them here, but they're warm, and I'm not going to let them not be warm. So I'm going to try one right now. What was that? I could take his food. I'm going to make Jackson wait. Not even one little bite. Nope. We've got... Those cinnamon bites are great. That's our new soccer tradition, Jackson. We're going to rate food. But I give it a solid 9.5 out of 10 because they're warm today. But again, East Sac County coming out. They're going to be working with the wind now towards the rec center. As the Jeff Blankman says, from left to right on your radio dial. He had to explain to me what a radio dial was because, with me being the age I am, I have never used a actual radio. I've used the one in my car, but it has Bluetooth. So we're working out here now with the East Sac County Raiders and the Carroll Tigers out in front of us. It'll be Carroll ball. They'll be working towards DMAC, towards the scoreboard on the north side. Sun peeking out, shining over Historic Merchants Park. Beautiful Historic Merchants Park to add. Carroll Merchants and Carroll Tigers and Kemper Knights all home over there. They get their season underway here very soon. Very, very, very soon. Ball going to be at midfield. Got a couple of Raiders dancing at midfield because they're happy to be out there and happy playing a little bit of sun today. A couple of Raiders fighting for it in the midfield. It'll get to Jersey Sport about the 50. She sends the through ball on the outside. And it will go back out of bounds here. Don't cut Jackson to help me talk. I realize how hard it'd be without him. He's probably out there happy that I'm saying that I need him in here. Ball going to be pushed up now. Blassie going to try and go over the top of the back line. Not able to get it. So it will be Carroll throwing. Ball now working across the top here. Blassie outside. She's got green turf in front of her. Stops, goes back to the middle. Thought that was her teammate. Drops it now to the Carroll Tigers. So it will work back out of bounds towards the right sideline. And we threw ball unsuccessful once again here. Both teams, again, you saw that at the start of the game. Kind of that midfield battle of, who's going to dominate the midfield, who's going to work things around. Unsuccessful for both to start so far. Throw in here for Esac. It's going to be at their back line. Blassie going to shoot the through ball there. Carroll has got a touch on it. Touches it very big. Still breaks towards the goal box. Carroll couldn't get the touch on it as Overmole is going to scoop it up. Unsuccessful shoulder attempt there by the Esac County Raiders as it's touched out of bounds by Carroll. Throwing it in now is going to be Bontrager. Finds Blassie in the midfield. Cummings going to try and turn it back towards the outside. We'll roll it towards the parking lot on the east side of the stadium. As the Esac bus sitting over there, all of the dance parents and all of the soccer and baseball, whatever's going on in our area tonight. They've got dance at the rec center, so if you're coming to the boys' game here soon, parking might be solely at DMAC. Nystrom taking a touch, goes to the far side. Kelly looked at it for a minute, unable to get to it. They'll send her a through ball now towards the back line. She'll take a touch down the sideline. Kelly, one of the faster girls I know here in our area, unable to beat the defense on that back line. It's going to be touched out of bounds here. I believe it will be Carroll throw-in. We've got Destiny Schaefer checking into the ball game here for the Carroll Tigers. Coming out, going to be Zoe Feld, as she will come to the sidelines here. One of the seniors, and many of the seniors that they are honoring tonight. Chloe Barrett now walks to midfield as she gets ready to go in. Carroll on the attack here. Drops it into Kelly. Kelly going to work towards the back of the goal and is unable to keep the ball in bounds. It'll roll out of the back side of the end zone. Reminds me a lot of football season here. We're 2 seasons out from the good old football season. Got baseball and softball in about 3 weeks. State track around that same time as opening day for baseball is the Monday of state track week. Ball going to get kicked to about the 45 here as Schaefer lets it roll out of bounds. So it will be Carroll ball once again. Carroll been on the attack for a lot of the start of the second half here. Barrett going to kick it up through the defense. Blassie takes a touch at midfield, sends it down the sideline for Barrett, who works back to the middle. Unable to keep it on their offensive end here. Wardell going to boot it to the 35. We'll drop it into the foot of Jersey Sport, who tries to turn outside for Nystrom. It's going to be at the sideline. Nystrom keeping it in bounds here. Goes between the legs of a defender. And it'll roll back out of bounds. Again, Carroll been on the attack so far. Unable to get that illustrious goal. Jackson Kerrigan make his way back up here. And I think Jeff Blankman appreciates that, we talk about how he's Harvey. I gave him the credit of him being Harvey and I'm Mike. So it's Jackson's fault that he said that he is not Harvey. So, we're working up to the front now for Nystrom. Jackson just whispered in my ear, and I'm pretty sure everyone heard that. These headsets pick up almost everything, Jackson, so.
Well, not quite.
We've got, again, the Raiders working to the south. Carroll been on the offensive end for about this whole time, Jackson. You watched from the outside. I won't make you answer just yet here, but, you've watched for a little bit on the outside here. You didn't get to, you got to kind of fully break down the game from the outside. What have you seen from both teams? Because I know I've seen a lot of physicality in the midfield. I know that, East Sac's not been on the attack much as Blassie. Too big of a touch. They're unable to get it. Kicks it out to Spore in the midfield. She turns her at the 40. Drops now back a little bit. Spins back up the sideline. Loses her footing. And it'll be kicked down the right sideline. Bontrager, a nice touch. Drops it in the middle for Carroll. A good look here. Carroll looking. Blassie's got to stay on side and wait. Crosses it now in the middle. Schaefer goes down. Blassie, only one in front of her. And Jeff, by the way, we are not Lewis.
Yeah, we're absolutely not Lewis. If anything, if you're Lewis, Jeff, then that makes you Donna.
Well, honestly, the dynamic of our suits references here. Jeff is Harvey. I'm Mike. And you're more of like Harold Gunderson.
No, I get to be Donna.
That's a little weird because Donna kisses Harvey, so that's...
No, not that part. I just get to be the one that basically does not care about anything.
Ball out of bounds. Last touch by Carroll here, but... So then that makes or would Jeff be more of Jessica? And Carroll shot on goal here, going on wide there. This is probably the worst debate we've ever had. I don't know why.
This is worse than MJ and LeBron debates.
Well, no, because the MJ LeBron debate will never end.
No, but it's never a good debate.
Did you hear the LeBron supposed truth of TikTok now? LeBron and the Lakers are apparently losing games so that when they beat the Rockets and play OKC, they get Luka back. People are speculating that as Bontrager going to take a touch outside. She's going to get to the corner now, try to keep it in bounds, unable to keep it there. But that's the speculation now, is that they went up 3-0 and they've lost 2 in a row so that they can give Luka more time to get back to play against the Thunder. True or false?
3 words for all you NBA basketball fans and basketball lovers. Thunder in 6.
Yeah, no, I believe that will not happen here. Spurs, with Wembanyama fully healthy, are going to roll the entire West, and then it just comes down to Cavs Spurs in the finals and who wins that. So, Overmall going to kick this one to center field. Barrett keeps it alive for the Raiders. We can debate all day about the NBA. And a shot here by Carroll.
Great shot.
The old Mr. Miyagi went up high and tried to go over the top.
Hey, sometimes it works. It's just like the scissor kick.
Overmall now in the goal box. Drops it off for Brady in center field. Brady going to kick it out in front of head coach Bob Babe. Inbounds now. Going over to Blassie as she drops to Bontrager, then to Carroll at the 20. Carroll centering it up, drops now midfield. Both of them working it very solid. Barrett on the outside now, dribbles down the left. Gets to the corner, Wardell cuts her off, and she'll turn it back up now. Boots it up to Kelly at the 40. It's going to roll to the 50 before it hits out of bounds. Jackson, what has worked so far for Carroll to hold the dominance in the second half?
Yeah, I feel like, it's just been like, like I said, you can't go vanilla. You can't just, water down in the second half. You got to just stay on that attack and stay aggressive, and they've been doing a really good job of that. And East Sac, they've been getting their chances here and there, but haven't been able to get much as they're keeping it on this side, though.
Right there, just got a drink in my prime. Was going to joke that they're sponsoring me, but they're not. Jordan Carroll going to be taking a corner kick here for the Raiders as that one rolls out of bounds. Last touch by the Tigers. Still 30-50 to go in this game, so plenty of time, Jackson. Going to go low and behind the goal there was Carroll. Didn't get a clean footing on it. She kind of did one of those, Jackson.
I don't know what you call that.
Spinning of the heel, or from what John Cena says, heel turn.
Okay. I guess that I never had WWE as my forte, so I was never one of those people.
I don't think you have a forte here as Overmall going to
golf.
Kind of chip this thing up and over the backside. Lily Freeze set to check in here for the Tigers soon. Coach Steph Jorgensen looking for their 3rd win of the year. East Sac looking for their 2nd. Their first one on the road this season. As Smith Hubbard went for a fight there with one of the girls, and Carroll's shot comes up through the uprights once again. I'm gonna tell her that if she comes up here. Why did you not go out for football? I know you're a volleyball girl, but you could have kicked for the team.
Could have split season.
Football's only on Fridays. If you're a kicker, you don't even have to practice.
You do a little bit, but not as much as, the rest of the team.
Ball out of bounds there. Last touch by the Tigers. Off the kick. Throw into the middle. Carroll's open. Almost had an open net. And they're going to call a handball here on the Tigers. I had to laugh because Carroll went to swing at the ball. Her teammate thought she was going to kick it. Carroll misses the ball there for a minute. And then the ball hits the poor girl there on the backside. And Carroll and her are kind of looking at each other and laughing there. That's the fun about this sport, is you can do stuff like that. Is ball going to come off the elbow of Carroll there. Cross back over to the far side for Kennebec. She pushes it up and turning it out here now. Ball going to be outside of the numbers on the 20-yard line. Chloe Barrett working it now, trying to go up the sideline. Could not get it, so it'll be a throw in here for Carroll. And, Carroll, the school. So, but while we're on our Suits references here, Jackson, Jeff tells me that you don't deserve to win if you lose on purpose. Never be the GOAT if you lose on purpose. Hey, that's just speculation. That's not a fact of life.
Yes, it is.
It's a TikTok conspiracy. So if all TikTok conspiracies are true, then Michael Jordan left the NBA because of gambling in 1993.
Well, guess what? They are true because Drake's dropping the album after he posted on TikTok.
I'm not a Drake guy. I'll listen to a little bit of Drake, but I'm not a huge Drake guy. A little bit of Drake's good, but a lot of bit of Drake just hurts the soul.
You're a Kendrick guy, aren't you?
I don't even listen to that much Kendrick. I'm more R&B.
Respectable. Then you got, Jeffrey being the Boomer with Guns N' Roses and all that stuff. CCD and all that stuff today, whatever it was that he was playing on his alarm day.
I think Jeff's more of like a early 1920s type of music guy. Like when music was like hitting two rocks together or like snapping a stick. It's like that caveman tendency stuff, Maybe he can describe to us what it was like before music was a thing.
That would be before the television.
Did music come before television?
Yeah, like a lot.
Still knotted up at one apiece here, 27-20 to go in this first half. I think there might be no more interesting broadcast than you and me doing soccer.
No, when we did football this year, it was pretty good.
But that wasn't as interesting because we had to focus on every play because it was a very, very close game. Sarah Bontrager sends the outside ball now to Barrett. Tried to go back to the middle. And Barrett took a shot to the side there from Wardell. And then Carroll takes one from the side from Wardell. She just headhunting today. Kennebec slide tackled near the box, went down hard. Barrett able to save the ball again. And they're going to call it on
Emma Steinkamp there.
Yeah, that one going to be called on the Carroll Tigers. It'll be Jordan Carroll taking it from the 19 right in front of the 20 number. She's going to boot it high and left corner and unable to convert. We'll have an interview with both coaches and players coming up after this game, Jackson. So are you excited to listen to another interview? I know Steph and Marin were excited last time.
I am very much excited, actually, because I do enjoy listening to Coach Bob Babe as well. He's a great scholar of the game, played for Kemper as well in his day, he said. We were talking to him about slow pitch before the game, but, great scholar of the game itself.
Ball going to roll out of bounds. Jackson was trying to recruit me to play slow pitch. Said we need a catcher.
We do.
I'm not a catcher.
Well, we know you can't play the outfield like I can.
I'm a DH. I would bomb it.
We ain't got one of those.
Put me at first base.
No, we got a guy there.
Well, I think slow pitch is more about the beer. As ball going to be in the goal box here, fighting for it. Wardell going to turn it out. Carroll going to take a shot, and this one coming off the foot a little wrong. Goes about where the American flag is here, if you know Carroll Athletic Stadium very well.
Substitution here is Peyton Moore going to check in for Carroll as Madison Brady will grab a seat real quick as we approach that 25-12 mark here in the second half of action.
Header going to come from Blassie there. Got shoved in the back. And it will be a foul here on the Carroll Tigers. once again, Jackson, very physical game we've talked about plenty of times.
Yeah, and, it's kind of shown more here in the second half as well with, like you said, Amanda getting a little physical back there. But, both teams have been kind of physical, and it's definitely makes it a little better. You don't just want, people flopping all over the place off just the simple touch. You want it to be a little aggressive.
Yeah, and a couple of weird plays there. Jordan Carroll coming up a little limp on the ankle. She went to go take a touch, came down a little weird on her ankle, and is now limping towards the sidelines. You had a Carroll girl go down as well as Blassie. Full power swings her foot into the ball and just straight to the midsection of one of the Carroll Tiger girls. I've been on the receiving end of one of those, Jackson. If it's cold out and you take a ball straight to the tum, it does not feel good.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure, or to the head. I'm sure your bells are ringing all night.
The head's fine because you're kind of, unless you take it to the crown, you're looking more of like the forehead area. And I know you probably wouldn't feel it because you got a thick skull. So, like, yours would just project about 50 miles in the air. But for us normal humans here, that does feel a little odd.
But he said, I ain't got no normal head. That's not very nice.
You got a very thick skull. Very smooth brain as well. No bumps. Chumley throwing it in. Going to be on the attack for the Carroll Tigers here. As Cummings going to drop through. Sends the through ball. Will be poked up behind the back line of that Carroll defense here as Carla Blassie trying to chase it out of bounds. Back line once again. Freeze took a stab at it. Goes towards the goal. And Danae Thayer coming out to pick it up. And Jackson, you said at the start of this game, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ends 1-1.
Hey, I mean, and like I said, you don't need high-scoring games to be good. This has been a good game in itself, It could be 0-0, 1-1. It could end at a tie, or you could win by 1. It's still good soccer.
The only bad thing is, to me, I liked the PKs rule back in the day.
Oh,
I didn't like it because of how long it was, but I liked it because at the end of a game, when you end up in a tie, it's just so demoralizing because you're like, what could have been? Where could we have gone? You didn't lose, you didn't win.
We could have won.
You don't have a solidified outcome.
Yeah, and I understand why, because you don't want games going for 6 hours and those late bus ride homes and trying to get kids home on school nights, but I don't like ties in general. With the NFL rule doing it, they tie as well, and a couple other leagues do tie as well. I don't agree with it, but, it is smart. But I agree with you as well. The PK rule was always a fun rule to have around, especially, when it was two really good teams and it was for something. So, like, if Carroll Kemper were to do it or if it was for the state championship, it'd be really cool to watch.
See, now I wonder, because obviously in the playoffs and in state, you cannot finish in a tie because somebody has to move on. So do they just adopt the old rules and go back to, but the old rules was you go to extra time, and then after the extra time you go into the PKs. Do they just, I almost thought what you should have done is just go straight into PKs. Don't do the extra time stuff, just go straight into PKs. Whoever wins it here. As Blassie dribbling down the right side to get to the corner, goes through and low. Schaefer going to boot it out of the back of the end zone here. But, if anyone's at the association's listening, because, I've got a whole ton of pull over there.
Right.
Absolutely zero. Maybe that's kind of the rule that you adopt, or even the union, since, guys and girls are separate. I would go maybe just PKs as Blassie's corner kick going to go high towards the goal. Dropped! Overmole. Still picking it up. Carroll soared towards the goal. Missed the ball for a minute. Overmole drops it. It's right in front of the goal, but Marin did a nice job of recognizing she needs to pick that ball up, picks it up, and now Carroll's back on the attack. Isak turning them back towards the middle, trying to get their defense behind them here. Through ball, not going to work. They're going to get a second chance at it. It's going to go up and over towards the goal. And turning it out here is going to be Isak once again. It'll roll out of bounds, last touched by the Raiders. But, I think, honestly, for me, that would be kind of the solution to these ties, because the ties do hurt a little bit when you're a player. As Sporer going to work towards, goes center. Outside was Kelly, took the header. It's rolling towards the out-of-bounds line. She's going to save it back out. Kicks it to a drop here for Steinkamp as Isak able to return it. Blassie now dribbling outside, guarded by Schaefer, switches back inside. Dribbles past Wardell. Wardell going to bump her. Blassie fighting with her for it. She's going to turn it upside now and out of bounds, and it'll be a penalty, I believe, here. They're going to call it on Carla Blasi there as she turned and swung the foot into Wardell. So it will be a penalty. It'll be a free kick here for the Carroll Tigers. Moore going to be the one to take it here. I'm surprised they don't give it to Wardell. She's got probably the biggest boot you got on the team. We'll switch it now to Cummings. So she'll be right outside where the sidelines are. Goes low. Blasi able to take a touch on it. Dribbles up now to the midfield. Just works it back in. Got very good footwork, Jackson. If you watch her play, Coach Ken Massey kind of praised her after the game that we did up there. How she's kind of one of those soccer players that is ideal for a program to have. That just has really good footwork. Is Blasi able to get the ball out from behind on Cummings once again here. Barrett drops to the midfield for Carroll. Carroll turns it back to the right side, sends the through ball for Blasi. Moore able to chip it up back to the midfield here as Herrig waiting to receive. And Carroll going to dribble. Got Wardell on her. Sends the through ball again. This time going to be punched out by Hegrich. And it'll be, looks like, almost a handball there for a minute. Herrig going to go out and kick it out of bounds.
Look over there on the far side of the field, Mason, as East Sac boys are coming from the locker room and warming up here over in the little grass area.
Kind of what you see some football teams do is warming up in that little grassy meadow that you get.
Hey, whatever works.
I know the Carroll boys, as I see Mr. Jeff Storyhun getting ready underneath the small scoreboards, the play clock boards. He's getting ready to take some pictures here. See Mr. Dale Wagner as well. Maybe I'll have, when we go to our break after the game here, before we do the interviews, maybe I'll run down and say something to Dale. I know Jeff would be happy to know that Dale is hard at work here today.
Yeah, and Jeff's not.
Yeah, he's hard at work. He was down at Coon doing some interviews. I'll give him some credit.
Oh, you know how we were talking about how Louis was committed? Yeah, Bound just posted him too as well.
It's the video of him windmilling, isn't it?
It is indeed.
I wanted him to go East Bay. I saw it in our All-Star game that he can do it, and I wanted him to do it in a game, but he unfortunately decided against it. Is Carroll going to dribble it outside now? Jordan splitting the defense now, turns outside and unable to keep it in. Carroll boys actually warming up to the south now, Jackson, over there, behind the Carroll goal. If you see Jackson. The Carroll boys are warming up behind. Looks like we're going to have a substitution here. But yeah, the Carroll boys getting ready for their matchup here soon. Peyton Moore throwing it in, going to go up high and header to the middle. Herrig trying to meet the foot of Sporer there. Sporer just dribbled under the official. The official jumped and she dribbled under him as Kelly now trying to work it outside. Glass going to turn her to the middle. This one going to roll out of bounds. That's the best thing about this stadium here, Jackson, is that, it can be used for soccer. It can be used for football. It can be used for graduations, for 7-on-7, whatever we really want to use it for. This is kind of that multi-purpose stadium, and I'm glad that they got this type of a field now.
If only you could play baseball on it.
We have Merchants Park, so I don't think that that's a problem. Polzine taking a stab at Schaefer there, going for the ball. Glass came off the foot a little wrong. Going to wait now. Herrig punches it to the middle there for Blasi, who takes a touch and waits on the outside. Blasi 1-on-3 there for a minute. Didn't have any lane to go. Drops to Sporer in the middle. Sporer with Bontrager on her. Works back out towards the Carroll sideline. Dribbles to the middle, and Herrig finding the foot of Blasi once again. She's going to split a couple of defenders and dribble down this right sideline. Turns it back to the middle here as Chumley gets her off balance. Nice aerobatic, whatever it's called.
Acrobatic?
Acrobatic, same thing. I was thinking aeromatic, but I think that's like planes.
Ultrasonics, or whatever the thing is with Russell Wilson. I was thinking of that once you said it.
Mr. Unlimited?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get somebody to say that on a broadcast sometime, but both teams still fighting in the midfield here. Still 1-1 after this first half. Well under halfway to go here as Jordan Carroll dribbling up the side. Goes outside for Bontrager, who chips it back to the middle for Carroll. And the Tigers going to reverse it back here. Blasi kind of dropped now into more of a midfield role. She went from striker to start the game to now more of a midfield role as she looks like she's a little banged up there. She's kind of holding on to her leg a little bit. Didn't really run with that last one. I know she's had a little bit of problems here to start the year. We've got ICAM men in golf results in here for the girls and boys. I know Jeff's back there getting ready to type those up.
How did they do? Or do I not, or do the folks at home not get to know yet?
I don't even know because I haven't opened the email. He sends them in an email.
I didn't know if you'd opened it and looked at them.
Looks like a wrong throw in there. So it'll be Sarah Bontrager throwing things in. Obviously, daughter of head boys basketball coach Todd Bontrager. Carroll turning up the sideline here down the right side. Brady going to chip it out of bounds. Last touch here by the Tigers. Carroll going to throw in once again. Goes middle towards Bontrager. Couldn't get the foot on it. Herrig going up now towards the goal, chipping it up. Wardell going to kick it towards the sidelines. Looks like we are now going to have ball towards the out of bounds here. Blasi going to kick it back out to Bontrager, and Brady will kick it out of bounds. So yet another throw in here for East Sac County. Throw in this time, drop out to the far side.
Nice touch there from Jersey Sport to control it.
Sport going outside here, beats the defense down. She's going down the left sideline. Has to slow up to keep the touch going. Works it back inside.
Ooh,
she's looking at the goal.
Play.
Sets up for the shot. Comes out wide. Sport hands on the face there right after. She knew that was a really good chance to get it.
Yeah, and what a great run there from her. She got the pass. She was able to go towards the sideline with one touch there and then just keep going, and then was able to cut it back inside and had the shot, but just went off the front, more towards the front of her foot, so it wasn't able to go the way she wanted.
And I got to take a picture of this, Jackson. The field looking beautiful right now. Got to take a picture for our Brinks Exterior Sports Report tonight.
Photographer Neeland.
Actually, Storyhound's here, so I won't need one, but I took it just in case. Again, East Sac and Carroll warming up on their respective sides for the boys' game. Barrett throwing it in here, and it's going to be booted back out of bounds. So East Sac back on the attack once again, rhyming like I'm Eminem.
You had the buzz cut at one point. You could have bleached it.
There's no chance I was bleaching that. Carroll slow to get up once again. They're taking a beating kind of in that front mid for them. You see Jackson, it's kind of affecting her a little bit here as she's somewhat limping. Carroll now from about the 33, dead center of the field. She's going to go low, and it hits the hand of a Carroll Tiger. They put their hands up, and so now it's at the 20, and it'll be a free kick. About the 15, they're going to move it now to Blasi. As Blasi going to take it from the 15. That was a huge mistake, Jackson. You know, you put the hand up and you give them a handball. Carroll boys are actually behind the goal. Blasi going up, right side of the goal, unable to get it, caught by Mr. Quentin Polking behind the goal.
Nice catch by Quentin there.
Actually, is that Quentin or Kieran?
That was Quentin Polking.
I say Quentin. One of them dyed their hair, so it makes it easier now.
Yeah, Quentin is the one that's back to kind of their natural black-haired color, and Kieran still kind of got. They both got a little bit of bleach, but Kieran's got more.
Kieran's got like the full bleach hair.
Yeah, well, they're both kind of fading away from it, but Quentin's is like barely noticeable anymore.
Overall, getting the save there as Carroll looked for the shot. 10 minutes almost to go in this game. Jackson still knotted up at 1. East Sac's kind of taken over on the offensive end here as Bontrager going to work it to the outside, drops back in the mid. Freeze keeping her off the middle. Glass running to go get it here, reverses it to the middle. Blasi there to get it, takes the touch, goes outside. Blasi turns, shot on goal, going to roll short, and Overmall dropping the knees, using the body as a protection to get that one away from the box.
Yeah, good job there by the Tigers. Defense staying strong, you know, giving up that one little bit of a shot there from Blasi, but still able to hold on strong. But they need to get back on offense here again, Mason.
Yeah, Glass going to turn this one towards center. Nobody home for the Tigers. Chumley takes a touch in the midfield. Drops it back out now for Feld, who reverses fields again. East Sac going to chip it up over the defense. Chumley rolling it off the body. We'll get a touch to Barrett in the midfield. Barrett going to turn out to the left. She's going to get in front of the pack. Works it back to the center. Finds Blasi's foot. She's going to turn now. Has a shot. Goes at it. Rolls towards the goal. And it's out of bounds.
Good save.
Marin Overmall touches it, and it rolls out of the backside of the goal. I thought for a minute I couldn't see where the ball was, Jackson. They kind of reacted like it may have been a goal. At least Carroll did. but it will be a corner kick for East Sac here. They have been dominant in this kind of second part of the second half with getting the ball towards the box.
Yeah, and Marin had it there, but I think it just kind of slipped out. And then she just kind of pushed it out of bounds, so then it didn't go out.
Blasi taking the corner kick, goes high middle, trying to look for our teammate to maybe get a header. Ball going to go inside the box now, dropping it. Schaefer out now to Sporer. Herrig trying to turn it back in to the goal box. It is Schmidt-Hubbard who sends it out of bounds.
Carroll going to make some substitution here is now Anna Steinkamp, Sadie Kelly, and Leah Nystrom going to check in for Carroll as it'll be Lily Fries, Aubrey Schmidt-Hubbard, and Zoe Feld that will grab a seat for Carroll.
Lauren Lally checking in for the East Sac here. Looks like Lauren Wells. Nope, I think that's Mahler checking out. It will be Carolyn Mahler, the sophomore, checking out for East Sac County. Jordan Carroll turns it back in the midfield here for East Sac. Glass turning. Gets Kelly back on the other side. Kelly took a spill there. She was down for a minute. Both girls kind of tripped over each other trying to turn the ball. Still working across here. Schaefer had the touch there. They said it's an improper throw-in. East Sac running now down the sideline. Barrett going to drop it in to Glass. Wide open in the midfield. She's going to turn it up and send the through ball here. It'll go to Amanda Wardell, and like I said, she's got a boot, Jackson. She turns it back into the Carroll offensive side. We've got Mr. Quentin Polking walking down the middle of the field here.
Down the track here.
He's getting ready for their game here soon.
Now another one of our area athletes that's committed to go play at college ball. He's going to go play for Grandview.
National title Grandview, too.
Yeah.
National championship Grandview. What a story for Mr. Quentin Polking. First time, though, without playing with his brother. That's the fun thing there. It's going to be the first time in, 18 years?
Yeah, and he's also playing where some other Carroll alums have played, with the likes of Jason Aviles and Chase Rickaller going there.
Yeah, that's two of those. Sporer are going to work through the defense. She's got to look once again, Jackson. Going down outside towards the corner, turns it back middle, and unable to convert on the goal once again.
Yeah, not a bad shot there. I do like that shot. I've been saying it most of the day. It doesn't matter, as long as you're within a decent range and getting those shots, it's just kind of keeping the defense and the goalie honest, so they don't have to just sit back and they're not just sitting back and relaxing. It's keeping them on their toes. You never know. You might just catch one on the good side of the foot there, and it might just hit the back of the net.
Kelly going to drop it once again here. Steinkamp going to go up the sideline. She's going to try to get to the corner to cross it in. Goes for the cross now. Sporer missed it. Both girls not able to convert here. Nystrom going to turn and drop it back out of the defensive line, and Bontrager goes up and steals it. She's going to run down the sideline. Free reign.
She's fast, too. Don't let her get open.
Yeah, now Cummings going to turn and kick it out of bounds here right in front of the Carroll sideline. 6.5 to play here. Carroll or East Sac's got to score to pick up the win. Otherwise, it will be a tie. And, we'll ask the girls about that after here. Is Blasi going to turn and boot it the other way? And it looks like we're going to have a foul. Blasi not happy with the call. And I believe it's going to still be East Sac, but Blasi...
She might get a yellow here if she doesn't.
She's still talking to the official, and he's not... It's still East Sac's call here, but Blasi's still trying to argue her point. I think she was arguing that she can't turn. You're supposed to give them the ability to at least turn for a minute there, but not having the ability to turn there. I think Blasi was trying to, I wouldn't say argue, but, negotiate her point across to the official there. Is
right.
Brady's set to throw in, drops it to where Blasi is. She takes a touch in the midfield. Schaefer gets it, and it will be yet again another foul. I don't know what we're calling here. It's another one on Carroll. As Jordan Carroll now going to take a shot from the 30. It rolls towards Overmole, and she will pick it up. Overmole's kick goes high and outside towards Nystrom. Nobody in the area. Nystrom kicks it to the back line. Brady taking the touch now. Going to work it outside. Bontrager regains possession here, but nobody home as Nystrom going to take a touch down the sideline. Trips over one of the East Sac girls. Sporer is out in front of the pack. She's back in center field, or midfield, excuse me. Kind of centers, I was trying to say centers herself up and midfield at the same time there. Came out a little wrong. Schaefer saving the ball on that far right side. She's going to drop it back to the middle for Freeze, but Carroll coming out for East Sac to try and regain possession. Steinkamp fighting for it, and it'll be a foul called here on Carroll. Well, Jordan Carroll. I'm trying to specify the best I can with Carroll and Tigers and everything like
You
that.
might have to just switch to the Tigers, not
Yeah.
Carroll.
Steinkamp out 35 yards out. She's going to look at the goal. Sneaks it in behind Kelly. Kelly chipping it. No good. Went outside, right side of the goal there. Danae Thayer went out to get it. Kelly with the chip, unable to get it in here. 4:48 to play. Both teams still knotted up at 1 apiece. Haven't scored since the 14:45 mark of that first half.
What a great play there by Sadie Kelly as she just kind of ran into some contact. And also, what a great pass there from Steinkamp. Steinkamp kind of put that right on the money with the one bounce. Kelly just not able to finish.
Blassie sends that one into the crowd. A nice catch by one of the ESAC parents. I don't know if Blassie was mad at that parent, just tried to take him out there or what. But
Still a great catch.
Will be ESAC ball. Barrett throws it up to that back line. Blassie heads it, running down. It's going to roll out of bounds. Blassie's going to keep it in. She's going to turn and dribble to the midfield. She's going to have a look at the goal. Goes backside. Sarah Bontrager's there. And it will be a foul. Blassie's down, and she is not getting up here, Jackson. She